Welcome back to Starfield, anyone, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how I built this Shadow Star. Couple things I want to point out real quick. This thing was built for top speed and top mobility while still having 30 jump range. The ultimate goal was to stay under 1020 mass, because if you go over that you'll start losing these stats unless you change out the engines. Cargo's only at 910. This is a lightweight fighter and not meant for high cargo. However, you can easily swap out a few things here and there for more cargo. Your choice. Just simply pointing out, cargo is not meant for this fighter. But that will be a future project. Now let's talk requirements. I highly recommend being level 60, max out piloting, max out Starship Design, and have a few 100k on you. I can't confirm the total amount at this time, but you're going to want at least 100k or a little bit more. Now let's talk core components. And when I say core components, I'm talking about the cockpit, the landing gear, landing bay, engines, fuel, cargo, reactor, and the wonderful Grav Drive. And I can't forget that shield. Okay, so pause the video. Look in the description. I have the location of all these core components and how many of them you need to buy. Now, whatever ship you're going to change into this Shadow Star, unfortunately, you're going to have to go to every location that I listed, slap on the core components, and move to the next location. I'll use the Frontier as a quick example. This cockpit is for a new design I got coming. It's going to make the ship look entirely derpy. There's really no way around it. So go to these places, buy the core components. Now the Habs are completely up to you. I am going to point out I am using one 2x3 HopeTech mess hall and one 2x2 battle station. You do not need to use these. You can simply use, it will add up to 5 2x1 Habs. And the thing to keep in mind is that one single Hab 2x1 is 8 mass. 8 times 5 is 40. 12 mass, 10 mass. That's 22 mass versus 40 mass. Every little bit helps in these small, fast ships. So your choice. And the HopeTech is obviously at Hopetown. So after you grab all the core components, grab your HopeTech 2x3s and 2x2 Habs, or whichever one you decided to go with. Now when you're at HopeTech, make sure you grab 4 of these HopeTech thrusters. It says thrusters in the name, but they look like guns to me. They're just decoration, but just make sure you grab them. And after you buy all your core components, buy all your Habs and your thrusters, come on down to New Atlantis, the wonderful starting area of the game. Now I will also point out one more thing. If you have an outpost with a landing pad, you can probably get the majority of all this stuff right there. Your ship looks pretty derpy right now, so let's finally get into this build. Start off with your landing bay. I always start with the landing bay. Next up, go ahead and grab yourself a 110 DP docker. Now this one says bottom, so you see that flip button? Bloop. Top. Bottom. We are going to use the bottom. Put it right here. We'll connect that in just a second. Okay, so grab yourself a HopeTech Captain's Quarters. I mean, you can use whatever Habs you want, as long as it's 2x1. And plop it right here. And just make a slight adjustment, move you back. That needs to come right here, so there's this one spot in the front. And now take this docker and make sure it goes right underneath it, just like that. Now grab your Viking CP220 cockpit and plop it right here. Perfect. Okay, now go ahead and grab your 2x3 or whatever one you decided. Make sure it is lined up right here with this one. And now grab your 2x2 and plop you right there. So it looks like that. So that is technically 5 2x1s, but it's a lot lighter if you use this setup. Now grab some landing gear, plop one there, put the other one right behind it, and do the same for the other side. Alright, now for the fun part. I'm using 3 StorMax 30 cargo holds, and this is my reactor. Now me personally, when I do this, I move the camera completely upside down, just like that. It can get a little much, so place cargo there, go ahead and plop you right there, and same with this cargo. Now if you want a 4th cargo, you can, but that's going to lower your mobility, which I'll show you that at the end. Alright, next up I'm going to show you this little design right here. First off, you're going to want 1 Nova bracer, 2 Nova bracers. Here's our first HopeTech thruster. Plop it right in front. And we're going to want a Pinpoint landing gear. Now one thing I'm going to point out, you can use different variants in this particular one. So we're going to want 1 facing forward and 1 middle. Right there, and right there. And go ahead and make yourself a second one. And of course, make sure this landing gear is facing the opposite way. Now, double click it, pick it up, move it on over. Now, we don't want it here, we want it right there. See how this has 2 spots on it, the landing bit? That's where we want it, right on this spot. Boom. So these guns are just slightly above the nose. And come on over, do the same thing for this one. Boom. Very nice, very nice. Next up on the list, you're going to want 2 Deimos Wing A ports. You want your first one to go right here, just so that wing is lined up perfectly with the nose. And same with that one. Plop you right there. And now for a Deimos bumper port mid. And just pointing out again that this one comes with different variants. You want the mid. And that one's going to go directly behind that wing. Just like that. Right there. And same thing for the other side. Perfect. Okay, so come to the back of the ship, grab your fuel tank, and plop you right here. You want this lined up just like that. Because if you go 1 below, you'll get an error message. So just right in the middle is perfect. Okay, now you need 2 more Deimos Wing A ports. One we're going to place right on this corner, and same with the other side. Boom, just like that. And now for a Nova Kaline 1LTF. Place it not here, right here. And now for another Nova bracer. Put it right behind that. 2 more Deimos Wing A ports. I really like these wings. Plop one right there, and plop the other right there. Don't, camera. So it lines up. So it lines up right here. Okay, and now we need a Deimos Spine C aft. We are going to put that right in the middle of that Nova bracer. Okay, and now we can move a little bit more up. Grab your Grav Drive and place it right behind that bracer. This is an excellent time to put your shield generator in. Boom, right there. Now I will point out that that shield generator is pretty small and you can place that wherever you want. I just like it here. Okay, so for this next part, we are going to need a HopeTech Engineering Bay 3x1. Now, again, you can use any hab you want as long as it's a 3x1. You are going to want 2 Deimos Wing A's. You're going to want a Nova bracer, a HopeTech thruster, and one more Deimos spine seats. Now start with your 3x1 hab and your 2 wings. Now you want that one sticking out just a little bit, like so. Perfect. And put your bracer right here. And then place your HopeTech thruster right here. Now this spine seat, you're going to want right on top of that bracer. And that is what it should look like. Now you are going to want 2 of these toe tail. And depending on where you're building this, you just might be able to duplicate it. Now you won't be able to duplicate this design everywhere because, well, the HopeTech comes in one spot, but these Deimos wings come in a different spot. So, either way, you need 1 plus 1, that's 2 total. Now grab your first one, bring it all the way to the left of the ship. That's this part. Now, you want this lined up right there. Actually, boom. Here, let's do this. See the front of this HopeTech thruster? You want this lined up roughly with the nose of this Nova cowling. So, not here, because that's too far back. And that's too far forward. Well, right here. Perfect. Just like that. And I'm sure you can guess what we're about to do. Take the second one and do exactly over here. Perfect. Love it, love it. Am I saying perfect too much? No, maybe. Okay, and now grab yourself a Nova bracer. We are going to put this right here. And place another Nova bracer right here. Here, let me get a different view. There. Just like that. And now we need a Deimos bracer A. Boom, right there. Now for the engines. We are using 4 White Dwarf 3015 engines. You want your first one to go right in that spot. Nope. Press the wrong button, I tell you. And the other one right there. Now, change the camera so we're facing here. And you want this one. Sometimes they're finicky when you move them like that. We're going to want that one right there. So it's right above this storage thing and lined up with your gas tank. And same for the other side. Boom. Now, let's talk weapons real quick. I am trying multiple combinations, so I'm not going to say, yes, use these weapons. Your choice. This particular model, I am using 4 Disruptor 3320 neutron turrets. I'm using 4 3320 neutron beams. Now, keep in mind, this one is a beam, this one is a turret. And I'm using a PBO 100 auto neutron turret. I am trying multiple combinations. Pay no attention to the top left, that red stuff. I just deleted it so I don't confuse myself. If anybody does have a decent weapon combination, hey, let me know. I would love to try new things. Oh, and I can also point this out too. Since I just deleted those weapons, my crew goes down to 3. After you fill your ship with weapons, then your crew will actually see an increase. It's a little weird game mechanic. Last thing to do is to paint this sucker. Double click it. Click J for color. Color 1 will always be black. Color 2 is going to be red, which is all the way over here, and all the way right, and all the way right. And color 3 is going to be black as well. Now another thing I am pointing out, all of these Habs. I highly recommend all of these Habs just be straight black. Because it just looks so much better that way. I mean, mix and match your own color combination, whatever you want to do. You can even make it blue. You can make it purple. Whatever you choose. And lastly, let's discuss the cargo capacity. Come on under the ship. This camera's a little finicky. Okay, so we have 3 StormX cargo holds. If I wanted to duplicate that to get a 4th, check out the stats on the bottom of the screen. Boom. 29 light year jump range, 95 mobility, and 1056 mass. Now, if you have better engines than these suckers to maintain 180 speed and 100 mobility, let me know. If you don't, then that is why this ship is not designed for max cargo. Now, the cargo is the only real downside to this build. Well, alright, that's it for this video. I thank y'all for watching. Now, if you guys build this, hey, do me a favor. Press that thumbs up button. YouTube really responds to that. And the more thumbs up I get, the more subscribers I get, the more builds I come out with. Alright, thanks again, and we'll see you in the next build.